Have you ever seen a headline so shocking that you stop scrolling and stare at the screen? Because this story did exactly that for many people, and it spread fast for one simple reason, which is that it mixed fame, surprise, and a bold choice that sparked loud reactions everywhere. The name in the headline is Dian Parkinson, a face many remember from classic television and modeling days. One photo, one moment, and suddenly everyone had an opinion. Some were stunned, some were curious, and others wanted to know the real story behind the image. And staying with this video matters because the full picture is more interesting than the headline makes it sound. Before the photo took over conversations, Dian Parkinson was already well known. She built her fame through years of hard work in front of cameras, posing for magazines and appearing on popular shows. Many fans remember her as confident, smiling, and always polished. She was often seen as a symbol of beauty from a different era of media, and because of that image, people felt surprised when an unexpected topless appearance surfaced and grabbed attention. So what actually happened? The moment came from a photo shoot that was meant to be artistic rather than shocking. The image showed Dian without a top, but it was framed in a careful way, focused more on mood than on body. Still, once the picture reached the public, it caused instant gasps. Headlines were written to sound dramatic, and social media pushed the moment even further. People who had not thought about Dian in years were suddenly talking about her again. Reactions came from all sides. Some fans felt confused and asked why she would do something so bold. Others defended her choice, saying she had every right to show herself how she wanted. There were also people who simply felt curious and wanted to see the image for themselves, and this mix of opinions helped the story travel fast across the internet. What many did not realize is that Dian had spoken before about feeling controlled by the industry for a long time. Her image was managed by others, from clothing choices to poses and smiles. The topless photo for her was a way to take control back. It was not about shock value alone, it was about saying she could decide how she was seen, even if people disagreed. Media outlets often left this part out. They focused on the gasp moment, not the reason behind it, and that is how many stories work. The loudest part gets attention while the quiet meaning is ignored. When people only see the headline, they miss the deeper message. Another reason the photo became such a big deal was timing. Fans remembered Dian from a time when stars were expected to look perfect and follow strict rules. Seeing her break from that image felt strange to some, and it challenged old ideas about how public figures should behave as they age and change. It is also important to talk about respect. While opinions are normal, cruel comments are not. Dian faced both praise and harsh words, and this shows how quickly the internet can turn a personal choice into a public fight. Behind every headline is a real person with feelings. As the days passed, the shock slowly faded, but the discussion stayed. People began asking better questions. Why do we react so strongly to bodies? Why is a choice like this treated as scandal instead of self-expression? And these questions matter more than the photo itself. By the end, the topless moment became less about skin and more about voice. Dian Parkinson reminded people that fame does not erase personal freedom. She showed that even after years in the spotlight, a person can still surprise the world. If this story made you pause, that is the point, because it asks viewers to look past loud titles and think deeper before judging. It helps to understand the full story, and keeping that in mind matters the next time a headline tells you to gasp and stare, because sometimes the real lesson is found when you look a little longer. Stories like this often reveal more about the audience than the person in the photo. Curiosity, surprise, and judgment can all appear at once. When clicks rise, platforms push the content harder and the cycle grows, and that does not mean every reaction is fair. Taking a moment to slow down helps people see context. Dian's choice can be viewed as art expression or simply a personal decision, and none of these deserve hate. Public figures live under constant watch, and that pressure shapes how choices are received. Learning to respond with thought instead of noise creates healthier conversations. Videos like this are shared not to shock but to invite thinking, and when viewers stay until the end, they often leave with more understanding than they expected. And that is why this story still matters, because it reminds us to question headlines, respect people, and remember that one image never tells everything. Keeping watching stories with care, sharing opinions kindly, and allowing room for growth matters, because perspective matters more than reaction in the end always.